What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Pokemon Podcast. We know we've been away for a little while. We're back. Great time in football. Hope you guys had great holidays. We got a lot to get into. Let's get right into it, obviously. Um, College football peaked. The committee definitely cooked with their recent um, semifinal matchups, two last play thrillers. Let's start overall thoughts on the games. Michael, you could start. We'll chime in a little bit. Go ahead.
All right, I guess I'll just start with the Michigan game. I mean, overall, yeah, the games were insane, but for the Michigan game, it was crazy. I really thought Michigan was the better team. I thought the first half we should have been up like 21-3, I would say at half. We missed an extra point, we muffed a punt that gave them a score. But defensively we were dominating him, and offensively we were driving in the first half. Second half, Alabama adjusted. It was a little scary for a while. They seemed to seize the momentum, but when it all came down to it, I mean, this Michigan team clearly has heart, has fought through a lot of adversity this year, and with 3-4 minutes left, led one of the best drives in Michigan football history to tie the game, and pulled it out in overtime. I think they deserved to win. They kind of did everything they could to try to lose it, and then at the end pulled it out.
Look, I
Um,
mean, would you? Am I overreacting if I'm saying Michigan didn't win and Alabama lost?
yeah.
Because all the opportunities that were
Yeah,
they had gifts in their hand, and they did absolutely nothing with them.
yeah.
I think Michigan was the one trying to
No,
lose it.
yeah,
So I don't know. We we were trying to give them the game away and then hold it out.
Miles, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan I thought was definitely the better team. They just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. They just looked extremely nervous going into the game. So did Alabama a little bit, but I think Michigan's mistakes were just like they're so game changing and like they really could have made Alabama win even though Michigan looked like the better team.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the best I've seen Michigan defense play all year. They
Hmm.
completely locked up their offense. They held their wide receivers to like under 50 yards or something. But something I'm a little worried about is the QB run with Milrow because like that was working the whole game. And
Penix isn't as good at that though.
it'll be interesting to see what they do with Penix. But yeah, besides that, JJ seemed like he started to settle in as the game went on. Blake Corum, obviously one of his best games of his career, and yeah, just a extremely entertaining game and just a great game overall.
Let's talk
Hmm.
about off the field a bit. Low coaching. I feel like it's pretty obvious, and a lot of people have been talking about it that Alabama was out coached, and you very rarely say that with Nick Saban. Talk. I know you guys know Michigan football like the back of your hand. Talk about Sharon Moore, or Harbaugh, obviously, Jim, and what's a Jesse Mentor. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think I saw Orlovsky touch on this, but Michigan has been running motion all year to like confuse the deep. It's like every play they put a guy in motion, and that was really what caught Alabama lacking was just like the confusion on the motion. I mean, on Corum's 4th and 2, they started him on the left and then put him on the right. The linebacker didn't adjust and had to run the full throughout like the full middle of the field to get to him, and Corum was wide open for like 30, 40 yards. Same thing on Roman's touchdown, same thing on Corum's first touchdown. It was just like free passes out of man coverage just from the motion, which is just NFL stuff. And on defense, like the blitz schemes they were cooking up was crazy. Like
Yeah,
Minter literally
they
like he looks like he's running the Ravens defense. Like it's just like crazy how many sacks they were getting just off scheme like blitzes. Obviously, Bama's O line was bad, but like it was a coaching masterclass. Other than like just the mental mistakes they had.
Bama's O line was definitely outnumbered, out whatever
Yeah,
you want to call it, out everything. I mean, in Milroe's first six dropbacks, he was sacked four times. And
yeah.
then, I mean, the one thing that stood out to me, first drive of the second half, they get the ball, a couple first downs, two, three first downs, a bad snap and a sack, and it's third and 30.
Hmm.
It's just careless errors, and you don't see that in Nick Saban team. But I want to ask, is this Nick Saban's, I don't know, last run? He's 72 years old already, 70 plus years old. The conference realignment, Texas is coming back. Ole Miss is obviously going to be a top 10 team this year with Jackson Dart still there, or next year, sorry. Georgia's obviously still there. I mean, Is this his last chance?
No, I
Um,
think
I don't think so.
Is
I
that an
mean,
overreaction?
yeah,
I don't think it's his last year. I think he give him a couple more years, but like he's spoken now about how much he hates NIL and like the transfer portal
That too. I
nowadays.
mean, the
And
transfer
like,
portals, it's
yeah,
like NFL free
he's
agency.
yeah, he's spoken about out about how he doesn't like it. I wouldn't be surprised if he left this year, honestly. But I would say just like give him a couple more years and he'll probably be gone.
Harbaugh, on the other hand, is he NFL bound 100%?
I don't know. It's
I
I
don't
mean,
never
he
think so.
came
This
and did
happens
what he
every
did.
offseason, so you can't really predict
Yeah,
it.
he put Michigan back on the map, got to his goal, won the first CFP game. I mean, what more can you ask? He's obviously wanted within the NFL. He's been searched after for every single year. It's been a
Mhm.
talk of the tables for every year, but um, Michigan looked great. Alabama, a lot of controversy surrounding them. Let's go to the later game, Texas Washington, another thriller. Last
Yeah,
play again, Michael Penix. Talk to me. I mean, is his draft stock? I mean, crazy.
yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
I mean, I still don't think he's a better prospect than May or Williams. I think those guys are
No,
just
definitely not.
like superhuman, but like his accuracy is unreal. He puts every throw on an absolute rope. Like that, his downfield accuracy is like mesmerizing. He could fit it in any window. Um, but like he doesn't have like the same mobility that a lot of the elite quarterbacks have. But yeah, he's great, and that's like the thing I'm worried about. If Michigan can't generate pressure like they did on Milrow, then it's going to be tough to stop their passing game. Like we do have solid corners, but Odunze's great, and they have other great
Polk.
receivers. So
Yeah.
just like if they are able to just like dink and dunk down the field, it's going to be tough for Michigan to stop, and they could get tired. So I mean, the key to Michigan beating them is probably just like running the football and keeping the Washington's offense off the field for as much.
Washington has the best O line in the nation, so it'll be a great test.
Yeah,
Strength on strength. Let's pick it. I mean, what last game of the year for college football? Top two teams. It's only fitting. I'll let you pick, Michael. Go ahead. Quick
yeah.
little pick, of
I'm gonna pick Michigan.
course.
I think their defense is far superior to Washington's. And will be able to make stops when they need to. And Michigan's offense isn't like so high powered and like explosive play, but they could put together great drives. And we talked about the coaching on offense, and they have the best O line and best running back in the country.
Miles, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Michigan as well. I don't think Washington's seen as good of a defense as Michigan so far. But I am a little worried about like their receivers and if they're just able to get the ball out quick to any of the receivers. I mean, Michigan's defense will struggle a lot. But I think Washington's run defense hasn't been that good recently, so Michigan will be able to get a lot of rushing yards with Corum and Edwards. So I think that's where they're gonna thrive and just win the game.
I'm taking Washington. Matt, go ahead. You want to make a pick?
Yeah, I don't know much. I'm gonna take Michigan, but all I can say is that I'm excited to see like a different matchup in the finals. Like
It's
we're so used to Alabama
Yeah.
and Georgia.
first time
It's
ever,
a,
no
it,
SEC.
it gets a little like you gotta admit it gets
No,
boring. So
of
Yeah, of
course.
course.
I want Michigan for you guys. I just hope it's an exciting game, not like
Thank
last
you.
year TCU.
Oh my God, awful. I'm gonna take Washington. I just think, Michael Penix is. I didn't know about his ACL tours and all that. His story looks great. He's bound. He's a winner, dude. I mean, the wide receivers, Odunze, Polk, and all that. I think the O line gives him enough time, and those receivers just make a difference. And really don't think Michigan can stop that. But I mean, it'll be. I would obviously it's an upset if they win. Michigan, is the better team, even though I do think Georgia would beat both teams at this point.
It'll be
63-3.
Bama.
We won't go. We won't go in there. I think that was a fluke. It's fine. NFL, we missed so much. 3 weeks in advance or 3 weeks ago was our last podcast. We missed a lot. Let's talk. We're gonna do a little different. Current state of each team. We're gonna go from the bottom to the top. Start with the top five picks at this moment. Panthers wrapped it up. Last team in the league, but it goes to the Bears. Talk to me about the Panthers. I mean, short, sweet for each team. But Matt, go ahead. Panthers, talk to me. Dave Tepper, fan.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw like he threw a drink at a fan and he gave a fake apology. But I'd be concerned about the Panthers going into next year. Like, you can't blame a lot of it on Bryce Young. He's got no one around him besides Adam Thielen, who's not what he was on the Vikings. And I mean, because they don't have the number one pick, I don't really see much improvement for next
They have
year.
nothing.
Like,
They have nothing.
yeah, you don't even know who's going to possibly be their coach next year. Um, I think they're going to be the worst team again.
All
They
right,
they they
yeah, go
really
ahead.
just screwed up by trading all that stuff for Bryce. Like I don't think this is Bryce's fault either,
It's not.
but they had just waited an offseason, kept like a top 10 pick and DJ Moore, and then probably still had a like number 1 or 2 pick this year. They would have been in much better shape with Mayer Williams and DJ Moore and more draft ammo. So they really just screwed up, and it's going to be a longer rebuild than they should have had.
Miles, Patriots. Bill Belichick, is he done? Mac Jones, complete rebuild. Talk to me. Short and sweet.
Yeah, I think Belichick is gone. I think they hire a new coach, hopefully not Jim Harbaugh. But yeah, I think they take a quarterback with their first pick, move on from Mac Jones. Or if a quarterback's not there and they like win this next week game, I would want them to take like Marvin Harrison or a wide receiver and just help out that offense because this year their offenses look terrible.
Michael, Cardinals. Kyler Murray, QB of the future. What do we
Yeah,
think?
I would keep Kyler and draft I guess a receiver. Like I think Kyler's a better player than people think, and I don't think you
Yeah.
can move off of him quite yet.
Commanders. What do we think? Matt, you have anything? Sam Howell,
Um,
is he done? Ron Rivera, is he done?
I don't think Sam Howell's done. I mean, this was not his rookie season, but it was his first year as a starter. I thought he played well at points, especially versus the Eagles, as Miles knows. But I think Ron Rivera's gone. I'm not really sure what he does necessarily. Like he kind of just sits there, doesn't say much. I mean, he's done.
I'll touch on the Chargers a little bit. I think they go out and get one of the Harbaughs. I get confused. Michigan Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Um, it's Jim. I think it's just the uh the looks of having Justin Herbert as your QB walking into that job and Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. It's just too talented of a roster to just not step into that spot. It was an absolute crap show with Brandon Staley right from the jump, including last year. But it's just crazy how they 27-0, and right after that it was complete downhill from the second half and on to this year.
I
Um,
I
yeah,
disagree with it being a good situation. I just don't think they have a lot of pieces outside of Herbert. Obviously, Herbert, like
you
you're
don't
walking.
think you don't think if they
Well,
upgrade the offensive line, I mean the offense is talented. No Mike Williams for the whole year. Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler are still playmakers. I know they're getting a little older, but
I just think Keenan's on the back end of his career. Mike Williams gets hurt every year. Austin Eckler, I think, has nothing left in the tank.
yeah, you've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
You have. All right, Matt, Giants. I'll let you do the honors. What do we think? Who's
Uh, it,
QB?
it was a
What do we got?
I mean, this was a winnable game versus the Rams. It was really just a Tyrod Taylor, like easiest throw of his career that he missed to Saquon. Um, I mean, what can I say? I mean, they've had basically five kickers this season. I was surprised. I thought Mason Crosby was reliable. I mean, what are your thoughts, Michael, as a Packers fan?
Has he been bad? Like I haven't really been paying much
Didn't he
attention.
go
This
like
was his
one for
first
three or
game.
something?
He missed like a 54-yarder and like didn't even reach the back of the end zone. I mean, I don't really care. Better pick.
He's always struggled with like the range,
Is
but he's had good accuracy inside of like 40. But
is Daniel Jones QB come September, Matt? What do you
Yeah,
think? Yeah.
I think so.
I
If he's
think
back.
I think they should get a quarterback, but they might not be able
I
to.
agree.
What about like a Penix or something? Anything?
I mean, I
Like,
think it's good to have a QB competition. I
There's
mean,
no reason not to, especially
I
Jones hasn't shown anything.
but
I
if
think you
they have
start
like
Daniel Jones, but you could
if
have
they have
some.
any chance to get Drake May, I would pull the trigger.
Yeah, I agree. Another QB situation, Bears. They'll have another one overall pick. Justin Fields looks great. I mean, trade out again. Miles, who do you got? What do you think?
This one I like go back and forth on. I really like I feel like this could be just a win-win situation for the Bears, or they could like take the worst route possible.
Yeah.
But like Justin Fields has looked very impressive recently, and I think if they keep him and then maybe draft Marvin Harrison, then I could see them making the playoffs next year and potentially making a conference championship in the next couple of years. I
I
mean,
mean, they could finish with 8 wins if they beat the Packers, and you
yeah,
can't ask.
their team's
With
not
a
that
terrible
bad,
si-
and
I mean, he was out for 4 games, so if you trade back to three, let the Patriots go take Caleb Williams and take Marvin Harrison at three. I mean, that just seems like a
I,
Michael.
as
You
a
go on.
Packers fan, I want them to keep Fields. I think the right decision for them would be to draft Caleb Williams.
Really?
I just think because you're not gonna get a great pick for Fields, but you're still getting a pick, and I just think Caleb Williams gives them the best shot to be successful long term. And they also have another first round pick that's going to be decently high that they could then use on a receiver. I just think Fields still has like what's his third year, fourth year starting,
Yeah.
and I just think there's a lot of like tools he's yet to develop that I would have liked to see. Like his pocket presence is still pretty bad. He panics on plays a lot. I just don't think he has like the elite ceiling that Williams and May have, and I would if they picked Williams or May, I'd be much more scared as a Packers fan.
Let's go up the NFC standings from the Bears up. Saints, Derek Carr, what do we think? Dennis Allen, anything?
I think they're keeping Allen, but personally, I think they should move on from him. Like he's shown the past couple seasons
Nothing.
that he's not a
Nothing.
good coach, and he was a head coach before, and he showed then that he wasn't a good coach. So I don't really know what they're doing with that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't look like they're going to contend for anything soon, so I don't really know with them.
Somehow, when someone has to win an NFC South, they're still in contention. A Bucks loss and a Saints win gets them the division somehow, but we'll touch on that a little later. Seahawks, Geno Smith. Matt, you want to go on them a little bit? Geno
I
Smith,
thought
Pete
they'd be
Carroll,
better
any?
than they are. I mean, I don't know their exact record. I think they're like are they at 500 or
They're
what?
8-8.
Yeah. I mean, Geno Smith is average. He had a good year
They
last
still
year.
have a shot at the playoffs. Isn't it? What is it? A Packers loss and what is it, Michael? You know?
They probably need the Packers to lose. The Rams are locked in, so I don't know who else. Maybe just a Packers loss and they win.
I think that's what it is. Maybe a Saints loss as well.
I
Yeah,
just can't believe they lost to the Steelers. I didn't think they were bad,
Yeah, that
but
was a bad one.
I don't think they're any threat in the playoffs.
Yeah. Michael, your Packers. They winning in yet again at Lambeau week 18. Couldn't get it done last year. Sorry. Jordan
yeah.
Love, does he get it done?
I mean, I don't know. I'm really worried about just like the Packers defense and containing Justin Fields. The best Packers we had a great defensive performance, but it was against like Jaron Hall and it wasn't anything special
Doesn't
in my
say
opinion.
much.
Yeah, so I just think like we always struggle with QB contain. Like Tommy DeVito probably ran for almost 100 yards on us, and against Justin Fields,
Yeah.
that's a big problem. And like Jair has been kind of mid this year, so if DJ Moore might be able to do well against him, I don't know. I think it's just scary because I'm scarred from last year. I thought we were going to beat the Lions to make the playoffs last year at Lambeau, and we didn't. So I think it's a loss that if they do lose, it's pretty devastating. Like it's a game they should win.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. But either way, I think this season is a
Is a
success.
win.
Like
Has to be.
we saw Jordan Love is pretty good, like and is the QB of the future, and I think that's kind of all you had to take away from this season.
I'll touch on the Rams a little bit. You mentioned they clinched. Matt Stafford looks like vintage Matt Stafford. It'd
Just
be a
named his
great
Pro Bowl.
it'd be a great story if he went into Detroit and won a playoff game there. Couldn't get it done as a Lion, but goes into there and gets it done. But um, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp looks great. Kyron Williams looks like an absolute stud, superstar. I mean, if you asked me who do you trust the most out of NFC quarterbacks between Dak and Purdy and Jalen Hurts, and I would say Stafford. I have the most confidence. He's a proven Super Bowl winner, and all the other QBs have a little question to them. Stafford not as much, in my opinion. But you want to talk, Miles? You got a little Eagles. I'll give you a little longer time. Talk about them Eagles, them birds.
Yeah. So just for this season, I mean, obviously the past couple weeks have been not great, but I think they turn around and can maybe make a playoff run. I mean, AJ Brown talked to the media today and like just talked about the coaching and the whole situation and kind of left me more optimistic about the season. And yeah, I mean the coaching is obviously a problem, but hopefully we can get that fixed in the off season. I don't know if Sirianni's gone. I personally want him gone, but that I feel like that's just unrealistic.
I think you
But
want all the coaches gone between coordinators and head coach.
yeah, I mean,
Clear the house.
that would be the best thing, but I don't think Nick Sirianni has like a 30 and something, 30 and something wins and like 15 losses. Like
He's
that's
not
just
going
not
anywhere.
a reasonable decision. But I do think both coordinators go.
Yeah. That loss to the Cardinals is a devastating one. Kind of threw the division away with that. Cowboys have it wrapped up if they beat the Commanders. Bucks Baker Mayfield looks great. If they win the division, the NFC South. I don't really think there's much to say about that. Lions, Cowboys, next two and three seeds in the NFC at the moment, or at the time. Niners have number one locked up. Anyone want to talk about the call?
Dan
Controversy.
Campbell's dumb.
Dan
Yeah.
Campbell's dumb.
Yeah.
I
Just
was,
kick.
I was thinking, I don't know.
I feel
I
like
mean,
that
he
was more on
said,
the refs.
I would say more refs than Dan Campbell. He said to the team before the drive, before they scored the touchdown, they were rolling with a minute left. They wanted one play, they didn't want to give him the ball back. Makes sense.
I heard this take today. Tell me if you guys agree that Dan Campbell shouldn't have run such a confusing play like that for the refs with the game on the line.
But didn't he allegedly like show or describe it to them at first before the game?
Yeah.
And then he brought two offensive linemen to the officials to try and confuse the Cowboys, but then it confused the I don't know.
I,
Michael, you have a
I
lot to
mean, I
say.
think the refs definitely messed up. And that's like annoying, but
It's a killer.
it's killer, but the refs always mess up, and the Lions, always gets lost when the refs mess up like that, unless it's like really ends a game, is there's always a chance to win after the refs mess up. So after the penalty, I think they should have took the extra point. I don't know. That was a completely reckless decision in my opinion. And like they just kick the extra point and go to overtime. Like your team was playing tough against a great Cowboys team, which I didn't expect them to play the Cowboys so tough. I thought the Cowboys would have like rolled through their defense, but so that's my take on it.
Cowboys. Any threat to the Niners, or is it the Niners conference to lose at the moment?
I mean,
Okay. Right.
I think they could threaten, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely the Niners conference to lose, but I think um the Cowboys, and if the Eagles get it right, can both at least be competitive against the Niners.
All right, let's transfer over to the AFC. Broncos and their Russell Wilson situation. Who wants it? Miles, you want it?
Sure. I mean,
What do you think? Did they
I
do
don't
him
have
wrong?
much
Is
to
that
say
is
on
that
it,
just the
but
business?
I think it's just the business. Like people are saying they did Russell Wilson wrong, but like he got like a 200 something million contract. Like he can't be complaining about it really. And yeah, they're just doing what's best for the team after one of the worst trades it's looking like in NFL history. And like just doing what's best for their team at that time and just looking forward to next season. So I think they move on from Russ. He gets released. Maybe they draft a quarterback, sign one, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Steelers. Mason Rudolph bringing them to the promised land. Maybe if they win, they might be in. Mike Tomlin refused to have a losing record. Matt, anything on that, or is we ending it there?
I mean,
Is
Kenny Pickett's
Kenny Pickett losing his job next year? What do we think?
I think he is. I mean, Kenny Pickett playing bad didn't just affect the whole team. Like I'm especially thinking of George Pickens, who was really unhappy. Who knows if he would have stayed after this year, but he's really looked like a top 10 receiver with Mason Rudolph, and I just think that's a bad look for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And AFC South, Texans Colts play Saturday night. Winning in for both teams. Let's just pick it while we're here. Um, in Indianapolis, Texans Colts, CJ Stroud, Gardner Minshew, obviously. Michael, who do you got? You could start us off. Pick it.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans, I guess. I think this will be a great one to watch, but I think with Stroud healthy and that their offense ultimately gets it done. But either way, both these teams had a very successful season based on expectations. Both were not expected to be in the situation. Shane Steichen's been great for the Colts, and Stroud's been great for the Texans.
Miles.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans as well. Yeah, CJ Stroud's coming back. I think he has a really good game. Is Michael Pittman playing or no?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
He did?
he played last week.
Oh, he did? All right. Yeah, I do think it's a really close game, but I think CJ Stroud gets it done with the season on the line.
I'm gonna take the Colts only because that loss to the Jets by the Texans was very concerning to me. It was like 30-0.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I know that Stroud didn't play the whole game, but it was over by the time he was out. And I think with Jonathan Taylor back and Pittman back, wait, who's home for this game again?
Colts.
Yeah, Colts at home, taking them.
I got the Colts too. I trust Shane Steichen. Jonathan Taylor's the best player on that field. Gardner Minshew's a game manager. Well, getting the job done. So that'll be a good game. Let's talk Bills. they have a wide range of possibilities. If they beat the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football, they're the 2 seed. If they lose, they could either be out of the playoffs if the Jags and the Steelers win, or the 6 seed or the 7 seed. So they have a wide range. It'll be interesting to see. What do we? I mean, while we're on it, let's just pick it. Dolphins. We'll talk about the Dolphins a little later. Let's pick Dolphins. Dolphins Bills game 268 Sunday Night Football. Michael, go ahead.
Who's home?
Dolphins.
I don't know. I'm gonna take the Bills just based off because they killed them earlier this season. The Dolphins are coming off a blowout loss, and that was pretty. It was against the Ravens, but it was pretty concerning. And I just think ultimately Josh Allen is going to power his way into the playoffs and complete the comeback that was almost a disaster of a season.
So you have them winning the AFC East. Just the winner of this game is AFC East
Yeah.
champions. All right. If the Dolphins lose, they head to Kansas City and as the 6 seed. So they could either host the Bills again if the Bills get some help and end up as the 7 seed as well. Sorry, Miles, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills too. Ever since they fired their offensive coordinator, they've looked like a completely new team. Dolphins, I think, just have too many injuries to like compete in the playoffs. So I think the Bills get it done and win the division.
I'm also taking the Bills. Tyreek is still injured. I saw a picture of him today. He was in a walking boot. And we've seen with Tua. Without Tyreek, Tua is nothing. And the Bills are hot, even though they had a close game versus the Patriots. I'm taking them.
I'm taking the Bills too.
Yeah.
I mean, just the injuries. Bradley Chubb's out there with 3 minutes left in a 30-point game. I mean, it just makes no sense. Torn ACL. Absolutely heartbreaking. Raheem Mostert might not play. I mean, the offense is in shambles. I have my concerns about Tua. Can't create. I mean, it's just bad time being a
I
Dolphins
feel
fan.
it really
It
sucks because
really does
like
suck.
they're gonna have a great, like exciting season. And Matt and I tried to tell you that we were concerned
All right, but
about.
like put yourself in my shoes. You see
No,
them
yeah,
beat the
it sucks. The
Cowboys. I mean,
injuries really ruined their season. And like with
I,
injuries and having Tua playing pretty poorly, like that's
it's just if the pocket collapses and that offensive line is not the best in the league, obviously, is a very below average unit. He just can't improvise and can't be the next level quarterback that we needed him to be. But I mean, I don't know. Hopefully Mike McDaniel cooks up, running game gets going, but the Bills definitely scare me. Josh Allen and that offense are gonna cook with no pass rush. Um, what do we got? What do we got? Let's talk Chiefs. Anyone? What do we got? Nothing. Three
No
seed.
one's playing this
They have the
weekend.
3 seed. They're resting
like
everyone.
they just. I mean, like they feel like they should lose, but it's the Chiefs. You can't really ever count them
Yeah.
out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they stole a playoff game or two, but I don't think they're gonna win the Super
Are
Bowl.
they more likely to make a run or be first round exits?
Make a
I think
run.
Make a run, I would say.
I think first round
I
exits.
think first round exits.
Because I think they can win a game or two. I just don't think they're going to be able to beat the top teams in the
Look,
league.
I mean, if the Dolphins head to Kansas City, I think I'm taking the Dolphins.
I maybe would too.
Oh.
They'd be healthy. Jerome Baker's coming back. Jalen Waddle might play this week. So I don't know. Let's talk best team in the league, Baltimore Ravens. I honestly didn't realize how good they were. I just I don't know. I mean, Isaiah Likely's better than Mark Andrews. Looks like it.
They
Talk
just have
talk to
all the
me. Talk to me.
pieces. The team has had pieces for years, but the issue has been injuries. They've been banged up for the past 2-3 seasons,
They
and
still are, but it's just
yeah,
not
but they're
showing.
just like and like Lamar has never really had like elite weapons to play with. Like when people were down on Lamar, I think it was just because the rest of his offense. But Flowers is contributing hugely. Beckham's been solid. Likely's stepped in for Andrews in a great way, and then their defense is really good. And Mike McDonald is a top head coaching candidate after this year. So they're definitely the team to beat the way they beat the Niners and the Bills. Or I
Would
mean,
you would you say anything but a Niners Ravens Super Bowl is a surprise to you? Because
yeah,
what's who's the most likely to upset the Ravens?
Bills maybe.
probably the
Bills, yeah.
Bills, right?
I
Yeah.
would say Browns.
Or yeah, Browns too.
It's possible.
I
Oh
would
yeah,
say.
actually
Oh, we never
too.
talked to the Browns. Someone. Miles. Browns
I
thoughts?
mean,
Joey footsteps.
I had them in my top 5 early in the season and got a little
It's
backlash for it.
You had
But
no idea. You were saying that with PJ Walker as quarterback.
yeah, no, I just knew the team
their
was good.
defense
But
is so good.
I mean, the defense has been the best defense in the league since
yeah,
literally week one.
Yeah.
yeah, Kevin
Eh,
Stefanski is looking like a coach of the
Coach of
year
the year.
candidate. Jim Schwartz has put together
Dog.
probably the best defense in the league, and Joe Flacco is looking like vintage Joe Flacco when he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
The thing with like Flacco is he's such like a perfect backup replacement just because like he's such a gunslinger. Like a lot of backups come in and they're scared to play. The coaches play it safe and they call these short plays. But Flacco's just not afraid of anything.
yeah,
And it creates interceptions, but it
Yeah, I was
also
gonna say that the only thing that's holding them back, in my opinion, is if he throws the ball to the other team. I mean, it's those
yeah,
picks are those you can't do that against a good team. And if you're playing the Ravens, they'll make you hurt.
they're complete
It'll
wild.
hurt you.
Yeah.
Let's put some finishing touches on the NFL real quick. Let's do AFC South still for grabs. Jags win against the Titans and they have the division, host a playoff game. Do they get it done? Titans, Jags. I mean, I think we all Jags get it done
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one
around
that
the
thinks
board.
that Mike Vrabel's a little overrated as a coach. He's not like he gets so much praise, but I feel like he's not like
maybe a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, their roster this year is really not that good. He doesn't have a lot to work with,
Yeah.
but yeah, he has had some really good seasons. So
Yeah, I
maybe
mean
too
he's led
early to
some
say
like
that.
pretty poor, not poor teams, but not great teams to like the 1 seed, like
Yeah,
with AJ Brown and Henry and Tannehill. But they just need a quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say those Titans is Levis QB next year, QB the future.
I like Levis. You just need more time with him, a little more pieces, and if he doesn't work out, you just move on.
yeah.
So yeah,
NFC East. Cowboys beat the Commanders, they get it. Eagles need to beat the Giants and get some help from the Cowboys. Cowboys get it done? I think yes. Anyone?
yeah,
Anyone think
yeah.
no?
I got the Cowboys.
Where's that game?
Washington.
I mean, I would-
I wouldn't put it
maybe
past
the Commanders win. I wouldn't be
the
surprised.
Commanders beat them by 20, and the Cowboys had all the starters week 18 last year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Who
if
knows?
both teams lose, who gets it?
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I mean, I didn't think the Eagles could lose to the Giants. Let's
Who
talk about
knows?
Only like a 5 point spread, I think, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
What's
I
one?
mean, I think both games could
Eagles, Giants.
potentially go either way. We'll see though.
Well, if
Yeah.
the Eagles end up the 5 seed, they'll probably play the NFC South winner, which is Bucks if they beat the Panthers. Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yeah.
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah,
And
either way, they're pretty
let's
like
let's
both
put
teams
no, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
should win.
Yeah.
Both the Eagles and Cowboys should win the first game, regardless of what happens
Yeah, I
in
think
the
so.
playoffs.
Official touches on the Packers Bears game. Packers win, they're in. Bears going for a good 8-9 record. Michael, Packers get it done. Home Lambeau, week 18.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers. I just think the love in the off. This is the first time the offense is going to be really fully healthy. I think Watson should be back. Jones is playing. Wick should play. I think Reed said he's fine. I mean, their offense looks really hard to stop. Just with all this schemed like plays they have and how well Jordan Love is playing. The Bears defenses look better, but I think the home field advantage will be huge. But obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they choke the season again.
Miles, Packers, Bears.
Yeah, Packers for all the reasons Michael said. They're at home. Their offense has looked really good recently
Yeah.
with all their young receivers and Jordan Love. And yeah, I think they get it done.
Matt,
Yeah, I agree. Same reasons.
cool. Clean sweep. Maybe no puck and ball curse. Maybe reverse curse that I did on the Bills. Bills Dolphins game of the week. A lot of good games. We'll see what the NFL has in store for us. It cooks every week, just like college football. So that'll do it for us this week. Next week we'll get to you with a playoff preview. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.